Hello, everybody. I'm going to be starting a new series called Real Rants. Honestly, I rant so much in real life that I figured, screw it. You know what? I'm about to just start doing this shit on camera because I'm sick and tired of a lot of shit, honestly. And what better way to start this series off than ranting about college professors? As the school year is coming to an end, all of us college students are probably having a blast currently. I'm about to finally graduate this summer. And honestly, going through these 4 years, I think I have a lot to say. And yeah, let's get right into this. All right, so the first thing that I cannot stand about college professors is the college professors that have their classes set up so that, hey, we're only going to give you 2 tests and a final project, and that's your whole grade. Not going to give you any chances for quizzes, not going to give you any chance for assignments, we're not going to give you any chances for extra credit. The whole class is going to be 2 tests and a project, and if you do bad on all that, well, guess what? Your grade's going to be a C. Why? I just don't understand. Why do we do it this way? Why are we only having 2 tests and a project as my entire grade? Like, that shit gets on my nerves. Like, yo, you can't give us a few extra chances to, like, do something to make it a little bit better, you know what I mean? And then at the end of the semester, they all want you to sign up for their reflection. They send out the little emails like, hey, can you fill out this reflection to, whatever, make it so my pay goes up. It's just like, yo, why am I going to go do your course reflection and say you did good when all you did all semester was give us 2 tests and a project grade to screw all right, look, maybe I'm just stupid. I don't know. I'm finishing with like a 3.6 GPA. I don't know. Is that stupid? I'm not sure. But look, I just hate when classes are set up like that. And then on top of that, I cannot stand the classes that have attendance policies. Like, yo, we are paying so much money for this class, you should not give a damn if I show up or not. As long as I'm getting the work done, who gives a shit if I'm in front of you or not, bro? Why are we doing an attendance policy? And then when they mix the attendance into your grade, it's like, yo, why? What even is the point of that shit? Why is my grade being affected by if I show up in class? If I do the work and I do it well, why on earth are you penalizing me for not being in class? What if I just want to do the classwork on my own at home? Like, I don't know. The next thing I had on my list was the professors who refuse to respond to emails, even though they say they'll respond to you within the next 24 hours. I've had several professors who do not respond to emails, no matter what. I have sent emails, and I don't get them in days, I don't get them in weeks, I don't get them in months. I have had several professors like this who just don't get back to emails no matter what you do. You will physically have to go in person and shake their hand and let them know what's going on. They do not look at their email no matter what. I'm like, yo, why even put your email in the syllabus if you ain't gonna, even respond? Like, come on. Like, what? Like, bro, that shit gets on my nerves. I'm not gonna lie. And this kind of mixes into the next point of I cannot stand when these teachers have bad communication and don't post anything about the class online. You know what I mean? Like, what if you were like sick one day and you missed something? There will literally be teachers who only say stuff in person and won't give an email or like a announcement post out on whatever you use for your school, classwork. I've had teachers like that. I'm like, yo, what if you were sick and couldn't come to class and then you just missed out on something because the teacher refused to put it on your school assignment board or whatever you want to call it. I don't know what everybody else uses. I use Canvas. I don't know what other schools use. That's just stupid. Honestly, that's just stupid. I feel like no matter what, professor should always send out an email or put an announcement post out telling you what's going on. Just in case you were sick that day, you had an emergency, you couldn't make it, whatever the deal might be. There should always be some sort of announcement or post going out. I don't know. This one's really not that big of a deal, but honestly, it is kind of frustrating sometimes when you have friends or peers in the class. It's the teachers who don't let you pick your group for projects. Like I said, that one's not that big of a deal to me, but sometimes it's a little bit annoying. It's like, you got a friend in the class you really want to work with, and then all of a sudden you get smacked with somebody you've never met in your life before, which, to be fair, you got to get used to working with people you don't know, so I kind of understand the point of that. That's why I said this one's not that big of a deal to me, but it is slightly frustrating, I feel like. Yeah, that one's not that big of a deal. The last thing I had written down was the college professors who expect you to learn something in the snap of a finger. They'll have like a 30-year knowledge of a subject and expect you to learn it in 1 week like you're the second coming of like Albert Einstein. It's like, ooh, my brain waves. You know what I mean? It's like, woo. It's like they just expect it to just, I look at the board and then it just goes straight into my brain via brain waves. And I just know everything they know from the last 30 years of the subject. I'm like, yo, I'm not Albert Einstein. I can't learn shit in 1 week sometimes, you know what I mean? And then they'll have like like a test or a quiz or some pop quiz or some shit the following week. And I don't know, I just find it to be annoying. I there's that, like, going through college, I've learned there's been good professors, bad professors, and then there's just, I don't know. There's really no in between a lot of the time. It's either the professor's great or just you hate them. And some are pretty decent, you know. I guess there are some middle ground ones, but yeah, those are just kind of a few touching points, honestly, on kind of like just professors in general. I understand some professors have a lot more to do than just what's inside the class, so I have to take that into account sometimes. Um, so yeah, that, you know, sometimes maybe some of the stuff I'm saying is hard for some of these professors due to outside activities outside the classroom. But then it gets to a point, it's like, why are you even teaching if you can't keep up with your class, uh, your students and what you're doing outside of class? Because then that's ruining the students' time in class, right? Like, what if they really need to know something and you can't get back to them in time and they don't get something done? Now, to be fair, most professors are pretty lenient when it comes to giving spare time. I know that the high school teacher was like, you will not get away with this shit when you get to college. You will not get away with it. I'm going to be so dead ass, you could get away with it. You really could. High school teachers hype up college professors like they're like the big bad boss that everybody's going to hate. Really, they do. They hype them up like they're they're just the worst people of all time. And then you come to learn that they're actually more lenient than most high school teachers. It's just funny. You know, high school teachers is a whole nother rant in itself I could get into, honestly. But yeah, that's pretty much it for this video. I appreciate everybody that stopped by. I'm going to keep doing these rants, honestly, because I wanted to start a new series on this channel where I could just kind of get off and start talking because I do this shit all the time to people off camera. So yeah, I appreciate everybody stopped by. Make sure you leave a like and a sub. I'm going to keep doing some of these. If you guys got any rant specific things, please leave them below. I will go off on whatever it needs to be. But yeah, thank you everybody. Peace.